Workington to Seaton and Camerton via the railway. This is not a cab ride. From City Junction to Camerton, as you will guess, it's a walk. Now why I have made this film? Well, from City to Camerton via Carver, Junction and Seaton, this line is the last remaining section of track running inland from the West Cumberland line in Cumbria to many parts of old industrial West Cumbria, including Egremont, Broughton Moor, Frizington, Branthwaite, Deanulloch, Cockermouth and Dereham, just to name a few. And now Broughton Moor ammunition dump is closed, which is all that this line served. I don't think the line will last much longer. No trains have travelled this line for a number of months now, and this year's growth will really make the track overgrown and hard to see. So in order to film a record I'm making, in case no one else does it, here goes in my amateurish way, together with one or two locos on the line that I have filmed in the past. The first part, from Workington Main to City Junction, of course, has been well covered by Rail Scene, who filmed the whole route from Barrow to Carlisle, showing all the inland junctions to West Cumbria. These were at Sellafield, Corkicle, Parton, Salterbeck, Derwent Junction, Workington, that's for the Cockermouth and Penrith Railway, Siddick and Bullgill. This is a one-car unit which travels between Whitehaven and Carlisle at this present time. Now passing Siddick Junction, or to the railway then uphill. Now as it goes out over what we call Siddick Flats on its way to Flindley. That's the allotments and the houses that remain at Siddick. And there's Ickerson, or as it's well known, Thamesboard paper mills. This is all that remains of Siddick Junction. Extensive sidings here at one time. And there you can just see the one remaining track in the grass. A little bit of work going on the main line. There's more sidings coming into view. And the junction itself with the main line. And now the start of the track up to Seaton and on towards Camerton and Buckhill. Here we are looking south again. There is the first section of the track, and there we have the rail bridge over the main Workington to Maryport main road. And this is the Seaton line, where it actually joins the main line running from Workington to Maryport. And you can see what it does remain. And there's a workman working on the main line. And we come right round, look up the line, and there we have it, going towards the bridge over the main road to Maryport. As you can see, the track was still double tracked here over the bridge, or I say again over the main road, and there it is looking back towards Workington, the lorry approaching the bridge going towards Maryport. There's Siddick Ponds coming into view, and this is the road to Maryport, looking towards Siddick. Contract again, the main road to Maryport.
point the line runs slightly downhill. On the left hand side or the north side is Seaton Ponds. And again Ectona or Thames Broughton Mills, Carver Mills. This point on the line, those bushes have started to take over. It's getting more extensive as we go up towards Seaton. And on the right hand side, coming into view, is Mill Park, the old Cumberland Clock Factory. At this point, the line straightens out and starts its climb up to Carver Junction. At this point, we have Seaton Ponds on both sides of the track. On the right hand side or the west side, north side church, north side housing estate, and on the east side, the large part of Seaton Ponds. Then as we look up onto the embankment, there is the line doubling back on itself and going forward to see. Bridge, cattle, etc. We start to enter the cutting, and on a steeper gradient, on this bank here, straight ahead, we can have a little look back at the distance we have just covered. Back over the first section of track that we've walked today. Mill Park. There's the line. We're back down to Seaton Junction and Seaton Ponds. Now go forward into the cutting and up to Carver Junction. This is Carver Junction, or shall I say what remains of Carver Junction. The old buttress here is the remains of the bridge which connected the fields for the farmer before North Side Housing Estate was built, which we're looking at now. As I've said, quite a number of lines at this Carver Junction here, and from this point the line went forward over Navy's Bridge, spanning the River Derwent, up into Workington Central Station, and then onwards to High Havington, Dissington, where the line split for either Blanthwaite and Ulloch or Brisington, Broughton Moor, etc. I will follow the line and walk up towards Seaton, which is all of the track, as I said before, remains. But before I start and go up to Seaton, I will just show a train on this junction before the Broughton Moor ammunition dump closed, starting its journey up to Seaton, Camerton and Buck Hill. Go a little bit faster as it's quite a climb from here up to Seaton. As you can see, and I think I said before, there was a number of sidings here as well. It was an important junction at one time. There she goes up the bank, and I think what we shall do now is to follow up the line to the bridge which is just coming into view, and we'll get some photographs of the same loco in about half an hour's time coming back down under this bridge. There she goes under the bridge and out of sight. That's the line. There we are, Carver Junction, quiet once again. As we walk up the railway towards the bridge, we'll just have a quick look at all that remains of the Roman fort at Carver. That's it. This was an old Roman fort. And as I say, it's all that remains of the Seaton line. This is the steepest part of the track, and from the line, looking west, you get a view again of the first section, Civic to Carver, and Civic Ponds. Coming up Park again, back towards Pentagon Chemicals. And there's the other track, the Northside Church behind. On the pond I see a pair of swans nesting. They should be quite safe from vandals with their nesting there. Wind noise here, I should think, on the microphone as we take our last look back over Civic Ponds, old side. And the first bridge over the line, again, is just for the farmer to connect the fields. There, right in front, is Ectona Fibres and Egerson on the left. And then, as you see, the line starts to curve round towards the northeast. And now we look back over towards Seaton. Coronation Avenue housing estate. And there is a distinct curve in the line. Still on the curve. Then, as the new housing estate at Lingbeck Park comes into view, you can see the line, she starts to curve just to the left. And curve, the second bridge over the railway comes into view, again for farm use only. And on the left-hand side, first views of Seaton, the local lane section actually. Bridge and the line starts to enter Seaton proper. Crosses a public footpath here, and these fields on the left hand side, plans are afoot to fill this with housing. waiting until they see if these rails are going to be lifted, and if that's the case, I think there'll be a change of plans. The houses will go ahead in these two fields here, but this track bed will probably disappear altogether. Then it'll be incorporated into the housing. Time will tell again. Bridge under the line, used quite extensively by people walking or taking a shortcut. Houses now on either side of the line. We curve again to the right and then cross the main road in Seaton and enter what's left of Seaton railway station. Seaton Library. The first bridge is over Local Lane, and here, as you can see, double track started to go into Seaton station, used as a passing point probably. Causeway Road. And there's the Seaton to Broughton Moor rail bridge or road bridge, and Seaton station come into view. Hi Seaton, road to Broughton Moor. My old school. 1943 I started there, it's changed a bit since. Here's Seaton station. And the roof of the welfare hall. Passing through Seaton. And what remains at Seaton railway station. And there's the, goes under the bridge to the welfare, Seaton welfare. Go by Seaton Rugby League Club, the former clubhouse and changing rooms. Then they build on a fine bar and lounge. Looking back at Seaton station, it's hard to tell if there were sidings here, but there were. Mainly coal wagons that I can remember to provide coal for the people of Seaton, where the coalman used to load up his coal car. Looking back, this shows where the siding would go off to the right. Of course we're looking back westwards now towards Workington. And that's about where the sidings would go. And looking again towards Camerton, that is the bridge over to the welfare hall. Cars, etc. can use that bridge, but it is not a road bridge, it's just what's called a bridleway. The railway now enters a cutting again. Quite a bit of rubbish here down in the cutting below the welfare bridge. Walk through the cutting, the next bridge comes into view. Over the line it is a wooden footbridge connecting Fernley and Camerton Road. This bridge has been in existence as long as I can remember. Very damp down here in the cutting, the drainage is quite neglected now. Now the next bridge comes into view, where the line straightens out and starts to come out of the embankment. This bridge is nearly opposite Derwent Gardens. Again, a bridleway, or really just to feed the farmers' fields for tractors, etc. Not a road bridge as such for cars. I say the line comes out of the cutting here, but there isn't a lot to see actually. That point there up ahead is where the public footpath crosses the line, with the footpath coming down from Sunnysides onto Camerton Road just before the lodge. This is the footpath coming down the field from Sunnysides, and the point where it crosses the railway. And as you see, here the railway is well overgrown. And the road from Seaton down to Camerton. And a view from the bridge we just came under, looking down on the line, which I think is a little more to see from here. As I say, the line is mainly in a cutting from Seaton. And there we go again towards Camerton Lodge. And there we have Derwent Gardens. The other side of the bridge. And looking back the other way towards Seaton, really into the cutting. There we are. The second run of the day from along Camerton Road, right opposite Ivy Lodge, which is the lodge on Camerton Road which goes down to Camerton Church. So we wait at the approach of the loco. Derwent Gardens on the left and the old Seaton Vicarage straight ahead. Mile into the dump. Up to the footpath from Sunnysides down on the Camerton Road, crosses the line. Next thing that the line passes is what's called the lodge. It's roughly halfway between Seaton and Camerton on Camerton Road, and there you see the road going down to Camerton Church. At this point, the road leaves the line to go down into Camerton. Oops, what have we got here? The tree starting to establish itself over the track. At this point, where we have a bridge going over the line, it's another bridleway, this time from Camerton Road up to High Seaton. And at this point, the line makes its final climb to the highest point on the track. Here, at just about the highest point on the line, looking eastwards, is Clifton at the other side of the Derwent Valley. And of course, out of sight, lying down below in the valley, is Camerton itself.
Camerton never had a railway station on this line, just on the Workington to Cockermouth line. As you can see, the line now starts to drop downhill towards the ammunition dump, or shall I say the ex-ammunition dump. That's looking up towards Camerton, or shall I say Camerton, Broughton Moor, four road ends, or you can include Flimby and Seaton in that. And as we run downhill, the line goes under a road bridge this time. It's the road coming up from Camerton and going forward to what we call Broughton Moor, four road ends. Under the bridge, and the line enters a little wood. Around the curve and then another straight with once again another bridge, but this time a bridleway once again. The curve and another straight section ahead, then under another bridge, but this time just carrying a little bridleway. Remain straight after passing underneath the bridleway bridge. Then a very small cattle bridge under the track. And from this cattle crossing under the line to the final bridge over the line. Again, a bridleway. This bridleway actually goes in a U-shape, you may say. It leaves the Camerton to Broughton Road, travels westwards, that's to our left, and comes out on the Camerton to Flimby or Broughton Moor Crossroads Road. And now ahead of us is the entrance to the ex-ammunition dump. If this film had been made much later than the end of April, which it is now of course, the track would really have been overgrown and there wouldn't have been much of it to see. Well, here we are at the end of the line. And as can be seen, the tracks inside the ex-dump have already been lifted. From here, as I think I said before, the line went forward to cross the Broughton Moor to Broughton Road, then towards Linefoot, where the line joined at a junction with the line coming up from Brigham. Then together both lines went forward to Devon Bridge and then down to join the line, the main West Coast Cumbrian Railway at Bullgill. What we've seen, of course, is the remains of railway junctions which were needed at the end of the line in the days of the ammunition dump. Whatever happens to this area in the future, well, time will tell. Of course, that's what it was, an explosives area.